Welcome to our latest session of Sunday Morning Together. This time we're looking at Daniel chapter 4, where Daniel helps King Nebuchadnezzar to understand his second dream and what this means for him.
A long time ago, in a land far, far away called Babylon, there lived a king. The king's name was Nebuchadnezzar. King Nebuchadnezzar was the greatest king of one of the greatest kingdoms that ever existed. All this greatness kind of went to the king's head. He became very proud of all he had accomplished. One day, while Nebuchadnezzar was sleeping, God sent him a vision. He had a vision of a giant tree that was tall and green and reached the sky. It provided shade and fruit for everyone, birds, animals, and people. But in his vision, a holy messenger commanded that the tree be chopped down, leaving only the stump to remind the people of the greatness of the tree. The king really wanted to know what this meant, but no one could help him. But he remembered about his friend Daniel, who had helped him before. He asked Daniel to help him understand the dream, and with God's help, Daniel explained the dream to the king. He said, "Here's what the dream means. The king of Babylon will fall, and you, O king, will live outside and eat grass like an animal for 7 years. God is doing this to you, so you will learn that he is the one who rules over the kingdoms of the world and not people." Then Daniel begged the king, "Please take my advice. Stop sinning and do what is right. Break from what you do wrong and be merciful to the poor. Show God that you've really changed, and then maybe he will change his mind and let you stay as king." The king did not change. In fact, a whole year went by and nothing ever happened. Then one day, as King Nebuchadnezzar was looking out from the roof of his palace, he said, "Look at what an awesome city I have built. Babylon is my creation. I built this by my own power. I built this as my royal home so everyone can see how amazing I am." As the king was saying these words, a holy messenger's voice was heard and proclaimed, "O King Nebuchadnezzar, you are no longer the king of this kingdom. You will no longer live like a real person. You will live in the fields with the wild animals and eat grass to keep you alive. For 7 years, you will live like that. Then we will see if your attitude has changed and recognize that God is the one who is really in control." And so it happened, just as the messenger said. The king for 7 years lived like a wild animal, just as Daniel had told him that that's what his dream meant. At the end of the 7 years of living like an animal, the Bible tells us that King Nebuchadnezzar looked up to heaven, his sanity restored, and he praised and worshipped the Most High and honoured the one who lived forever. In fact, King Nebuchadnezzar went on to say this about God: "His rule is everlasting and his kingdom is eternal. All the people of the earth are nothing compared to him. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and honour the King of heaven." So when King Nebuchadnezzar recognised God as the supreme ruler over everything, God restored him as the king over the Babylonian Empire. But there was even more than that. You see, Nebuchadnezzar recognised that before his 7 years of living like a wild animal, he wasn't a very good person. The king realised that God was the one who helped him all along. And King Nebuchadnezzar was so excited about this that he had to tell everyone. Even though the story was embarrassing to him and it didn't paint him in a very good light, he understood that this story needed to be told so everyone would know that God was the king over everyone.
We're really glad that you joined in with today's session. If you'd like to follow on, there's some worksheets in the Google Drive link below in the description. And if you'd like to join us live next Sunday at 10:15 a.m, please email through and we'll get you joined in.